Hi everybody, it's Kelly. I'm in Black Thread Studio, finally back after a couple weeks. It seems like it's been forever, but as you know, or if you don't know, I was in Idaho finally seeing my kids after about 18 months, and it was wonderful. It was absolutely wonderful. So I hope you saw the video from last weekend when I went to go talk to Cece and did a little snippet with her. And if you didn't, go back and watch it. I will tell you, I did apologize to you and Cece during filming. I cut her head off. And, you know, when I filmed sometimes when I was cutting you guys off when I was showing you a project I was working on, I think it's the same thing. I haven't quite got the hang of it because when I'm actually filming, I can see the whole thing. I could see Cece in her head, but it got cut off. And the gracious, sweet, wonderful soul that Cece is, and I am not exaggerating on that, she thought it was funny. She totally got a laugh at it and out of it and thought, and actually said that she needed a good laugh. If you, Cece is on Instagram as the Thread Gatherer. They do have a newsletter. They do have a website. They are on Etsy. If you don't follow her, I think you should. They also have a Maher Earth Instagram, and I am on Cece's newsletter. I think you sign up for on their actual website, which is maybe it's not under the Thread Gatherer. She says what it was in the last video, but and she's on Facebook. I will tell you that Cece in the last few years, her son had a tragic death, and she does talk about it in her newsletter, so I know it's not a secret, but that makes it even more, the way she has handled that and the way she talks about it and the way she's gotten through it is, I'm in awe of her. I really am. She is so talented, and she is such a sweet, sweet person that I hope you can see that and understand why I cherish her. I cherish her friendship and her as a person, and I cherish and love the work that they do. Her and her daughters are so talented in the floss that they dye and the ribbons that they dye in the Maher Earth products. So now you'll see why I talk about Cece all the time and why I use her products. So anyway, you know, anyway, I wanted to say that. Also, I know I have some new subscribers. I want to say thank you so much. I started my YouTube in November, and it was because I was turning 60, and Cece and I alluded to this because I've known Cece, I think it's about 17 years now, that we've always wanted to do something together. I've always had big dreams of doing things with quilting and patterns and teaching, and I was doing some of that, and I'm going to talk a little bit about that today. And because of I think I'm up to 23 moves now in my adult lifetime, because of moves in life, you know, nothing just really stuck. Every time I moved, it was to a different state. It wasn't just to a different, you know, street. It was to a different state. So you have to pick up your whole life and change it. And you know, it was hard to keep things going. So anyway, I'm in a stable place in my life now. I'm hoping to looking towards retirement, and really wanted to reach out and have a band and a group of, hey, I'm going to say circle of friends, because wait till you see what I'm going to show you today. But I wanted creative souls to be able to reach out to and to talk back to me, and just be in that, because I missed it so much. And you guys know that us creative souls are, when we're together and you can talk about what you love and somebody else gets it, it just feeds you, like I know you guys know. So anyway, that's really why I started this. And I love sharing and just chit-chatting away, as you can tell. So thank you if you're new. I hope it won't be your last time. If it's your first time, I hope you'll keep coming back. I'm starting to get back into cross stitch after many, many years. I'm finding that that is where my heart and soul lies. And not to put quilting to the side, but I'm almost I almost feel like I'm having an affair cross-stitching on my quilting. Does that make sense? I almost feel like I'm cheating on my quilting. So anyway, and I'm just starting to blabber. So here, let's just move on. Did you guys see from Shirley's Cottage? I talked about Happy Mother's Day, by the way, to everybody, each and every one of you, no matter what. If you're not a mother, you have a sister, you have somebody who's a mother, and I just hope everyone can celebrate that and have a beautiful weekend. So in my From Shirley's Cottage, if you don't know, I have a separate little playlist and videos that I call From Shirley's Cottage in honor of my mom, who is still alive. She's going to be 84 this year. And for many, many years, for her whole life, she taught beauty school. And then for a short stint, she worked at the state's attorney's office in Illinois, Rockford, Illinois. And then when she retired and moved to the lake, a lake we've been on for over 50 years now, my mom has always been talked about writing and been a really, really good writer, and was encouraged by us to write a column for the newspaper, Cambridge newspaper, and she did that for many years. She thinks about 1,000 columns, and so to honor my mom and have a place to share those, because she's not doing that anymore, I read one a week on the weekend. I've missed a couple weeks because I was in Idaho, but they're fun. So if you want to go see From Shirley's Cottage, please do that. And anyway, I already showed this, but this is what Paige got me for Mother's Day. And I told the story about it over in From Shirley's Cottage, but it's such a sweet picture. If she did get it on Amazon. I guess there's a whole section of, I'm going to show this again, Little East Studio, but see where it says Creative Co-op? I think if you plug something like that in Amazon, I think it brings up a whole bunch of artists that are selling things on Amazon. So anyway, I just thought I'd show that again. Okay, this is the week where we should be doing, doing the block of the month. Oh shoot, you guys, I didn't make the tassel yet because this is the tassel weekend. Okay, can we just take a minute to talk about this? I'm trying not to get frustrated or down or too hard on myself, because I have so many ideas and I have so many things to catch up on, such as mailing everyone out their goodies that you guys have coming from me. And I am a positive person. I try to just put good out there, but I'm also, I also look at reality and say it the way it is. And a lot of things that I don't follow through with, or that take me a little bit to get done, is time and finances. I'll be honest with that. My time, since I've been back from Idaho, the last week was unbelievable at work. We're so busy right now. I work in a optometric office, and because it's about a 45-minute drive for me, and we're open a couple nights, I'm either gone 10 or 12 hours Monday through Friday, and then the only time I have to work on things with you guys is now when I'm sitting here with you. So I don't even have time during the week. And I'm not complaining about it. I'm just saying I'm trying not to be too hard on myself for not getting things done. And I'm telling you that because I want to pass it on to you as well. If you do that to yourself, or if you're struggling with not finding time to do things, we all do. I know we all do. And I don't know, maybe we can just spend this time together to get through it and figure out how we can get this stuff done. But you guys keep me motivated to keep going and not give up on it. So in that vein, talking about our My Color Is Black of the Month, which we are on number 5, which would be, so what was I saying? For my old and new viewers, I have not been diagnosed, but I know it's ADD because I just go bing, bing, bing. I didn't make the tassel, but this is the tassel weekend giveaway. So I'll talk about it at the end, although I don't have a tassel to show you. Okay, so let's get back to the quilt of the month. In our 9 patch, I guess that's what I was going to say is I didn't grab the book. In our 9 patch, the top center block that we're on, this is the one that was last month. And as far as I know, Bernadine, Karen, I don't know if you're doing it. If anybody is doing this, I kind of quit sending everything out every month to everybody because I don't think you guys are doing this. But if you want it, email me, this little applique doodad. If you do, just email me, blackthreadstudio@yahoo.com. And that's how you guys can reach me. I'll send you whatever you want. Actually, it's easier for me to do that because from work I can do that pretty easily and take the time to do it. It's when I'm home that I don't have time to do stuff. Okay, so this was this month, the middle one that was supposed to be your own design to reflect you. I haven't done mine. I haven't finished this because when I saw Cece, I got the floss that I'm quilting this with. And then I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to look it up on my iPad here so I can show you guys. I know what I'm going to do for my middle block, but I just have to get it all put together. So I Googled initials. I usually put in free clipper. I put in a K initial with flowers, I think, is what I did. So I got a bunch that came up, and this one, let's see if it comes up big. That one with that little bit of yellow in there, and then that purple, which you guys have heard me talk about purple that I don't like, but I'm loving this. You're not gonna be able to see that. Okay, so look at that. And then my Outback Wife fabric that I got, that's that I'm using for the border. That's that dark eggplant. Anyway, I don't know, can you see that? I think what I'm gonna do, I'm not gonna use this busy gold. And I'm running out of my topaz fabric that I had. I finally have to go buy more. That's my other issue, is I don't have a piece big enough. I've cut it all out. So I actually need to go to a quilt shop. I've been looking online, and I actually want to go touch and feel fabric. I need to do that. So my plan is, you guys know I'm doing all these borders. I'm gonna copy this off on fabric paper, and it will come out, regular A4 size or whatever it is. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use that as the center block, and then I'm going to stitch my borders around it so it will be the center of a block. And I think what I'm going to do is almost do maybe kind of a log cabin style where the K is in the middle, and then I just keep sewing different strips of the gold around it, and then do my eggplant sides. So that's my plan. And that's why we're not doing this today, because I don't have it. I'm not any farther. But that's what I'm going to do. So if you like that idea and you haven't come up with anything, or if you just want to do like a little prayer flag or a little journal thing, just Google your initial, whatever kind of font you like, or if you like it flowers or script or whatever, And, you know, that's such a fun thing to do, is to make copies on fabric paper and then use that. And that is going to lead us into everything I'm going to show you today. So I hope this will be fun for you. After, so if you have any questions about this, or if you're going along with us, you can post pictures on Instagram if you're there. Anything that has to do with the YouTube channel we're doing here, there is a hashtag Black Thread Studio Peeps, hashtag Black Thread Studio Peeps. If you're working on things, that's where I can see what you're working on, and it will keep me motivated, you guys, to know that you're doing it too, and that I'm just not out here winging it by myself. Although if I am, I am. So I am excited about this. I almost feel like I want to take another week off work just to stay home and stitch and sew. Don't you guys feel like that? Just have nothing else to do. Nothing else to do. And I mean nothing else to do. Even this morning. So if you did see from Shirley's Cottage, and I talked about magnolia trees, and my mom talked about trees and, you know, cutting them down and watching them grow. Jim and I are just determined to have our home we just want it full and beautiful and trees and trees. I don't know how many Jim has put in. I did a little snippet, maybe, was it a month ago now, of everything, even before it started budding. Jim and I went and bought 5 more red maples today, and he's out planting them now. So, yeah, we like trees. So as it gets nicer out, it's still only like 39 or 40 degrees today. As it gets nicer, and I have to be outside, because I will have to be outside, I'll take you out there with me. We might not be doing cross stitch or sewing, but we will be outside and maybe doing some gardening and that type of thing, or just sitting outside in the sun under an umbrella cross stitching. That's always good too. So anyway, let's move on. The other thing, you guys, is I got a new phone, so I think I can upload in one sweep, no matter how long it is. So today is going to be a really, really good test of that. So we'll wait and find out about that. So when I saw Cece, I had brought up, oh, you guys should see what I have sitting here. I didn't even put the one I wanted out front. We talked about how Cece and I met, and here it is. We talked about how Cece and I met, and I can tell you again really quick, because I have to tell you, when I was with Cece, I was so excited, and I was so, and you know how sorry I am that I cut off her head. I will tell you, with her sweet soul, she thought it was funny. She thought it was funny. She needed a little laugh. So as we were going through and just being together, I'm not going to talk too much about it, but I will tell you this. Cece and I, for years, have been talking about doing something together, and we had so many creative plans, and our ideas just shoo, 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 and fit together, and we bring different things to the table. And it was such a fun, good time in my life when we were in Eagle, Idaho, which is outside of Boise, and we moved. And sadly, the distance and time and life takes place, and Cece and I have stayed connected, not as much as we like, but when we're together, it's those same, it's just, she just motivates me and inspires me so much. So Cece and I are serious about doing something together where we're both teaching something on a weekend retreat. We're throwing around some ideas. So just stay tuned, because as we talk about it and as we get more plans in place, we have a pretty good idea what we would do, how we would do it. But it's just going to be a matter of time and getting things really done. But it's something that we're going to do. So just, it might not be It won't be this year. It might be next year. If not, there's always the next year. I mean, it's been this long. We will take as long as we need and keep you posted as we go along, and try to plan some fun, creative stuff that will just keep us all going. So anyway, if you missed it, Cece and I met when I did a fabric book class, and I had I have another good friend, Lori Wren, that lives in Boise, Idaho, and she is so busy. I didn't even let her know that I was coming this trip, because I saw she was posting a lot about her dad, and she's from Boston, and that she was there with her son, I believe. But Lori was instrumental in helping me along getting this class. And then Lori Simpson, I'm sure I can say her name, had the scrapbook store. And Lori is, both Loris are on Instagram, and I don't keep in touch, but I do see what they're doing, and I've just been very blessed to know and meet some really, really talented women. So that being said, Lori Wren was a scrapbooker, and we got to be friends because our husbands both worked for the same company, and we moved around a lot. And she brought me into the scrapbook store. I was a quilter. I sewed. I didn't scrapbook. I thought that's all I don't need to add any more things to my whatever. And she took me into the scrapbook store, and of course I just went nuts because of all the things that I was doing. A lot of art quilts then, a lot of things that I could sew or use on. And then Lori, the other Lori, who owned the scrapbook store, this is when scrapbookers were just starting to want to stitch on paper, and a lot of them didn't know how to sew. So she asked me if I would come up with something to teach, which I did. And it was this fabric book that I showed, that Cece and I showed. And I'll talk more about it. This is kind of what we're going to try to bring back. Something like this, only incorporating cross stitch. And that is what's up here. So when I met Cece, she took... I think it was my first class, I think, had 2 or 3 people in it. And then the next class, boom, had, I think all the classes after that were 23, 24 people. And it was phenomenal and fantastic. And Cece was kind of, you can tell she's just more of a calm, sweet demeanor. And she was kind of sitting back in the corner, you know, kind of not saying much. And I was doing my rounds and checking with everybody. And Cece had this whole, I mean, she had all these flosses and ribbons and look at that. These are all Cece's. This is a different book. These are all her ribbons. She did talk about, was this 13 millimeters, I think she said, that she's been having people ask for, that she was going to bring back. And then these smaller, I mean, literally, I couldn't speak. I was like, I thought, oh my gosh, who is this girl? Who are you? And how do you have all this ribbon? And she, when I interviewed her, I said reluctantly, she told me that wasn't the right word to use. She's just very humble and kind of just a quieter demeanor than I have, and proceeded to tell me that they were her ribbons. And I was like, what do you mean? And she's like, I have this company, the Thread Gather, and she dyes all these. And she very, very graciously gave me some packs that day, and I was in heaven. I was smitten, and from that day with her and her talents. And so anyway, that's that. So I thought it would be fun. I have a whole box full of all these fabric books I did, different types. And since we're working on bringing this back, and I talked about making, running pictures off on fabric paper, I thought I would just go through some of these. So I hope that will be fun for you. If you want to see these and hear me talk about them, stick around. Otherwise, no, I hope you'll stick around. Don't go away, stay. We're going to talk about these. So I went, you will see, because at the end I'm going to show you something cool. You will see a lot of these. So like this one, August 2007, and you'll see my married name, Goldsworthy. And while I was married to Doug, I did have a pattern company, and I called it Stitch 321. And these are some of my patterns I had. And honestly, when I look back at these, I think, that was pretty good. How did I do that? I don't know. I mean, my abilities now, when I go to the computer, I'm just blank. I'm like, how did I do that? How did I get stuff printed on the back? How did I get the pictures? Well, part of it was that I had my Mac computer, and I had everything in there, and Paige was home to help me with the photos and all that kind of stuff. And unfortunately, after all my moves and my Mac being old enough that I just can't pull up anything anymore. I have transferred things over, but it's a matter of being able to afford to get another Mac, which, I keep thinking I'm going to do someday. And then Paige moving and her changing some of her computers, I've lost a lot of these, that are in a file somewhere to be able to be reprinted. But I have a bunch. So I'll just talk about this now. I had all these different, anyway, Stitch 321. I think I talked about this before. Doug and I, our anniversary was March 21st. And I just thought 321 was cute. And after we got divorced and I was starting new, I wanted to just kind of break away from that and started Black Thread Studio and going from there with that. But I have so many of these. I will tell you that in time, I'm going to give myself like this summer to do this, but I would really like to get these. I've had an Etsy shop forever and I don't have anything on there. I have here and there, but I think I have a couple things listed as custom orders. But I would love to get these on there. And then when I talk about the fabric books, I'll tell you too, because I have some packs made for fabric books. If you wanted to purchase those, I could get those packaged up. I have a whole bin, a whole box that I could do and get those packaged up and try to sell them on Etsy. So cross your fingers with me, you guys. Maybe that will happen. So, do you want to see what I have? I should show these again some other time and actually show the quilt. This is Nicoletta. I think I've shown these here or there. This is W is for Witch. That's an art quilt. Stitch 321. I showed you guys in one of my earlier videos. I had it on my kitchen table. Actually turned inside out with the back showing. This is the Renewal Whimsy. This is the one that we did. This was January's that we did. And then, of course, Rooster Doodle. And can I say that Valerie from Stitching in the Barn, I had sent her a little package, and I had Rooster Doodle in there. Karen, I still have to mail you yours. And Valerie Stitching in the Barn was so gracious and talked about my pattern. She said that I lived in Minnesota, but that's because my old patterns, that is when I lived in Minnesota and printed those. So if you guys don't care if they have my old information on them, I think I'll put those up in Etsy. And then let's just talk more about the fabric books. So this one is done with Timtex. I did a little magnetic closure, and the Timtex is a softer, it's kind of like a stiffer interfacing, but I just thought I would give you guys some ideas. This one, you know what, I might bring you down so I can show you all of these, and then I can look at it. Plus, this is fun for me to reminisce. So I'm hoping you guys can see those. So when you took the class, I had a whole list. This is what you got, the supply list of what you needed to bring to class. And then a lot of this is done with a fat quarter because you can do both sides. I will tell you guys, these have been packed up and moved for 15 years. So as you look at them, if they're in rough shape, that's why. They've been in a box. Like this we did in class, this wool flower, felted flower. It has dimension to it. It's not supposed to be flat. Circle of Friends, this beautiful, beautiful velvet ribbon is of course from CC, the thread gatherer. When we do something together, there may be things that she does, especially for the weekend retreat, which would be, you know, some custom dies. And, you know, my thing is a lot of ribbon, a lot of doodads, a lot of buttons, that kind of thing. So this book was all about wings flying. Spread your wings and let the fairy in you fly. Isn't that beautiful? So this one, again, CC's Velvet. This was all one piece. Can you guys see the variegation in that? This one, okay, this is on fabric paper, so that's the effect that you get. This is my niece Jade when she was on a swing. How sweet, I thought, to put so this is all paper and quilting combined. These are all Fly Little Girl Fly. This I did on fabric paper. Her picture was printed on fabric paper. These are all done as little quilts, actually with binding. So we have that one. Are you guys okay seeing this? Because this is fun for me too. This is actually tied on with CC's ribbons to the buttons, so that would come off. This one was fun. This is a picture, and I have it kind of tacked down with buttons on the side, but these were done as a little quilt. This one is a picture of a dragonfly of our post on the pier at the lake that Paige took. And I have that picture in a bigger frame. And then if you guys are into scrapbooking, you have a lot of these rub-on letters. You can do that right on the fabric. We did that in class. This one, again, all of these would be CC's ribbons. Little pinwheel. You guys can see I matched my points on that one. Fly. So we talked about, you know, just doing some stitching in the ditch. You know, you learn how to, it was a little bit of everything. Look at that little bird. Just these little quilts, how sweet. It's really fun for me to look back at these. Of course, the yo-yo on the back. We made yo-yos in class. This was another one that was Circle of Friends again. So these are all from different classes. This one was done with cardstock. More paper was used on this because, you know, it was a scrapbook store. So these were done with cardstock, but we stitched, again, the variegated ribbons, silk ribbons. This one, I double punched. I can't remember how I was going to do that, but I think that's interesting that I double punched it. And I think I was going to weave some kind of ribbons in there. And then I'm just going to go through these, you guys. This one I showed you. The face of an angel kissed by butterflies. That would be Sam when he was born. And this was an actual picture. I didn't even run that one off on fabric paper. This one was a little bit more, again, can you see that ribbon that she did? We did beads. in my classes, no matter if it's quilting, scrapbooking, cross-stitching, whatever you want to do, how important it is to label, document your work. This was May 2007. KG, you can see that's when I had a different name. And let's just see what's in this one. Oh, look at that. I just noticed. Cece we talked about this, ruching her ribbons. Little old button. Look at that ruching. That's all one ribbon. So this one is done more with paper. You can see just working in more scrapbooky stuff. The pages are covered with fabric. And then I did tabs using her ribbons. And we'll just keep going through some of these. The fall. Again, never mind that these are all smashed. They should be kind of up and running. The variegated flosses or ribbons. This one was done with Timtex. Oh, this is where you had to do a book about you, which I thought was kind of fun because you really had to, you know, think about yourself. This is what I wrote. I was born in November. I am by nature a fall girl. Sorry. I am by nature a fall girl. I love the smells and colors. Citrine, my birthstone, is one of my favorite colors. I love the warm sun and the cool air. I love the crunching leaves and the smell of leaves burning. I love pumpkin pie. I love pumpkins. I love the fall. So that was the page I did. A picture of me. And let's see what else is in here. Oh, one of my favorite sights is tobacco drying in the barns out in the vast farm fields of Wisconsin. I know this sounds crazy, but to me it is a beautiful sight. And I don't know if you will be able to see this, but Paige took this picture for me when she was dabbling and just starting to get into her photography. That is a picture of tobacco drying in one of the barns. I don't smoke. I don't agree with smoking, but tobacco drying in the barns is something that is really cool. Just a cool visual to see. I'm just looking. Look at that little cute tortoise in the hair. I hope you guys aren't bored yet. A time for change, fall. The F was all done in buttons. And again, this is all Timtex. The wind is rising and the air is wild with leaves. We have had our summer evenings, now for October eves. That was from Humbert Wolf. That is also here in Wisconsin. Picture of a silo with some vines growing up it. Little picture of me, look like a little orphan girl, and put wings on me. What I did was I made that and then ran it off on fabric paper. So this was a scrapbook page I did, and then I made a copy of that and ran it off on fabric paper. So that's kind of fun because that's really soft. So this is what I'm going to do with that K for my quilt, is I'm going to run it off on fabric paper, and then you know, quilts. I always feel my heart changing in the fall, changing for the better, I hope. I start looking for a renewed, better self. And I put Kelly T. Goldsworthy, fall 2006, and where I lived. That would be a really fun project, you guys. Maybe we'll do some kind of me journal like that. See, I have so many plans and not enough time. I'll show you this one because it was different. I had some dreams. There were clouds in my coffee from the song Carly Simon. A bunch of yo-yos in this. It was hooked that way to look like foam. And of course, Cece's ribbons. That's, I guess that's me. That's me. Anyway, we just did, that's Lori Wren. And this we did as a class, and it was, the idea was to do friends, your friends, like who you would have over for coffee or whatever you want to do for coffee. And then we made it, you can see it's a big coffee cup, made it so it hung on a little hook in my kitchen. This one we did is a different version. I did a lot of these wolf flowers that are all flattened here. This one, do you guys ever do this? Do you look back on pictures of yourself? So this was probably from 15 years ago at least, and think that you were chunky. At that time, you think you're chunky, like I thought I was so chunky here, and this was like probably 40 or 50 pounds ago. I'm thinking, okay, I wish I was that chunky now. This one, because my kind of tagline at the time was join me on the fence, and that's me sitting on the fence, and that's because I was quilting and stitching on paper, doing scrapbooking and quilting, so I was on the fence. I was like, you know, those two things are on each side, but I was right on the fence. I don't know, do you want me to read this to you? On the back of this one, I must have done a class where you had to pick a word. Joy. And I wrote joy. I picked this word for us to do our pages about. Oh, we did a whole class on joy. Is joy just complete and utter happiness? Is there something else to joy that I don't know about? I find it to be a curious, beautiful word. I have vowed this year to find joy in every day. Joy in the big things, joy in the small things. I don't know that sitting in my favorite place on the earth brings me a lot. I do know that sitting in my favorite place on this earth brings me a lot of peace and joy. And that is me sitting on the pontoon on Lake Ripley with my feet up on the side railing. You guys, this might be fun for us to do, wouldn't it? Look, another page about joy. I don't know, you guys. Look at this whole thing, all those tabs for each page done out of Cece's The Thread Gather ribbons. There's another one. I'm almost done. I'm almost done. I'm horrified though, because I'm not almost done, so should I keep going? This one, this is that little orphan girl picture of me. I just love that picture. I don't know why, because my family didn't have a lot of money. We weren't poor, but it was more love than anything else. And that just looks like a little orphan girl that has so much love that she knows she's okay. That's what that looks like to me. Anyway, that's because my mom and dad, my family, were so great. Okay, this one, Bloom. So, let us dance in the sun wearing wild flowers in our hair. That was Paige. She was graduated from college at a friend's house hula hooping, and I love the look on her face. That's Paige. This was Doug's sister Diane. I put wings on her. One of my favorite things to do is to put wings on people. Sam, I put, I hope you always show me your sunshine. And I did that black and white picture, and he was holding that sunflower. So the sunflower is in color. I'm sure Paige did that for me, because I wouldn't know how to do that. So anyway, wouldn't any of these be fun, you guys? I did this one as a wedding gift for one of Rox's daughters. And guess what? I still have it. They have 4 kids now. I don't know why I still have that. This one I did, that's a K. This one is in Timtex. You know, just fun stuff, you guys. Oh, that's Paige and Jade. My mom used to say this. Paige actually got it tattooed on her foot in my mom's handwriting. We would say something when we were little, and we'd go, my mom would say, like, there's, your shoes are on the floor. And we'd go, so, and my mom would go, so buttons on ice cream. So this says, so buttons on ice cream. Paige and Jade eating ice cream, and there's my ice cream cone with the buttons on it. You guys too fun, don't you think? This one I did, this is us, and this is, I think, a family trait. If you can do this, then you're in the club. If you can't, I'm so sorry. But I actually had one that said, can you do this? The face, can you do this? And I actually have this framed. And can you cover your nostrils with your top lip? Sure enough, YouTube will use that picture as my, as you know, the one for my episode. I can see you all trying it. Are you trying to cover your nostrils? Watch again. Yep, we can all do it. Paige, me, and Sam. This was done on fabric paper. This was our front door in Idaho. And I'm going to tell you about that house someday. Oh, look. I love Jim, but there's something that can't replace your family that you had. So that's kind of a bittersweet picture for me. I'm happy that Doug and I still care about each other. Oh, here it is, the face. Can you do it? And yeah, just, I don't know, does this kind of Sam skateboarding? Look at how sweet. Paige and Sam and their feet. This was one done the fall, a pumpkin with a pea, the shape of a pumpkin. Some little fall leaves on the back. The fun part is doing the closures. That was all ruched silk from the thread gatherer, just glued onto like a plain old button. Hey, if you guys want to see these books come back and do something with these, let me know. Leave a little note. Something's stuck here. I can't get that open. I did this one. I love cream pumpkins. So I did this one like all in creams for something different. We did some wool felting and made that star. I didn't finish this one. Yo-yos. This was a work in progress that we did in class. I'm trying to figure out what these snap peas, this charm is so cute. Oh, I just had that on the back. Little thing of peas there. So I found this and I was gonna Google this before I started the video, and honestly I forgot. There was, I was gonna look to see if this girl was still around, Tweety Jill. See if she's on Instagram or anything. That was from August 29th of 07. And I saw her, I'm lucky enough to live really close to Madison for they're calling it the Wisconsin Quilt Show now, and it's every September. I think the like second weekend of September. And I saw her there, and I was really, you know, big into my books. And I'll read this to you. I submitted, so I stopped and talked to her and told her about my fabric books that I did. And she said, send something for me to look at. Kelly, thanks for your work. We decided to put it in our second fabric book we are just starting. they had done one book on fabric books. It will be in approximately 8 to 12 months, Jill. Watch the website for it, and I will send you a new copy once it's in the warehouse. I don't know that this book ever came out. I never was contacted again. I don't know what happened, but that was just affirmation for me that something was going to happen with some work that I did. So that was exciting. So if you guys are still with me, this is what I want to say. I would love to bring back the fabric books. Cece would love to bring back the fabric books. I had started, and I think, again, if I can find the time to do this, this is what I want to do. I have, again, these were under Stitch 321. You guys, I do not know where I had the wherewithal to know what I was doing to do this, to make these bags, make the tags. I still use My Life in Stitches. This was My Life in Stitches and the Joy of Passing It On. I've told you this before, Paige thinks simpler is better, so she talked me into using My Life in Stitches and just leaving the rest off. But look at these packs I had. One, two, I think there's 5 pages in each one. Cardstock covered with different fabrics that all coordinate. I don't think, can you see? I don't think any of the fabrics are the same there. They're all different. And I was selling these. I was getting ready to sell these. I think I will leave these. I had names for all of them. Snail Alley, Kelly Alley, Boo Alley. We used Alley because my sister and I, Deb, always wanted to have something called Wishbone Alley. And for a while I had that as well. And it never came to fruition, but look at all those fabrics. So these are ready to go. You would just have to punch holes in them, but these are all little like paper kits, I guess. So I have a ton of those. What I would have to do is figure out, I guess, shipping and, you know, what to charge for those, but that would be fun, wouldn't it, to have those and my old patterns on my Etsy shop, and then maybe that will get me motivated to do something new and different. So, I don't know, was that fun? It was fun for me. I hope that was fun for you. I would love to see what I can come up with. But, you know, hopefully this will give you guys some ideas. So, as my book says, come on in to Black Thread Studio and join me. So I think next week I am going to do a Flosstube. I'm doing Mania, Stitch Mania. I wasn't sure how I was going to do it at first. Oh, I got so into it. I was planning a new start for every day. I'm so glad I get these big ideas and then I can't follow through with them. And then I threw around a couple different ideas, but what I came up with was each week I'm working on something different for that whole week. I've been working on Peace and Plenty. Should I go grab that? Okay, hang on. So if I'm gonna do a Flosstube next weekend, I'll talk about it, but I'll just kind of give you a little teaser to show you what I am gonna be planning on. Do you guys watch Brenda in the Serial Starter? I always want to say Serial Stitcher, which also makes sense. But Laura, on last week's, I'm sure a lot of people saw it, where Brenda asked for prayers. That's all she really said about it. And I know the cross-stitch quilting creative community is probably praying their hearts out for her. I wanted to do what I could in my little way. So I actually found, let me see if I can show this to you. I actually found this on Etsy. 7 Gnomes. This girl doesn't, she's not on Instagram. I don't know. She seems like she has some cute stuff. So I don't know, but on Etsy, it's 7 Gnomes. Gnomes, like the gnomes, Gnomes. And I found this scripture for Isaiah 41:10. Fear not, for I am with you. Be not dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you. I will help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. And I just thought I'm going to stitch something, and while I'm stitching on it, because, you know, sometimes I do, you know, my mind wanders and I go all about. So I thought while I'm stitching on this, I will definitely just be saying some prayers for Brenda and her family and her friends like Laura that I know are going to be going through whatever angst and emotions, because that's all I know is that we're praying for Brenda. But I've got the Fear Not done. I don't know, I was using In the Reds thread gather, that beautiful variegated. I have some ideas what I'm going to do with that. So I guess my whole point was for Stitch Mania, the whole first week, I started my Peace and Plenty when I was in Idaho. When I came back, I was able to start, I'm joining the Blackbird weekend sale with Brenda and Laura. And I started Eleanor Rigby on Sunday night. And then, so I broke my week-long thing of working on Peace and Plenty to do the Blackbird weekend, which I think is going to be the first weekend of every month, right? And then after I saw Brenda's and Laura's Flosstube, I worked on this for a couple nights, and then I went back to Peace and Plenty. So I'm going to work on this through the weekend. I've gotten farther. I talked about this one with Cece, and we talked about the variegated floss and how it's coming out. So if you're interested in seeing Cece's thoughts on that, you can go back and look. I really, really like this one. So my plan for Stitch Mania is to, I'll finish out this weekend with this one. And then I ordered Long Dog Sampler, the Pilgrim. I don't have that one to show you, but I do. Oh, I'll kind of show you guys something. I was going to wait. But I'm going to do that one in all the floss that Cece helped me with. It's called Chimney Sweep. And while I was gone, well, let me finish this thought first. Okay, so 1 week I want to do Long Dog Sampler, the Pilgrim, using Chimney Sweep from the Thread Gatherer. How many weeks are there in May? Paige is just killing me because she never, my daughter, I've said this before, our tastes are the same but different. She likes a lot more simple. And if you go back and see the week that I'm in Idaho, I did a whole scan of her front haul, and she wanted me to do the rabbit, the Amongst Berry rabbit that I ended up gifting along to Bernadine like a couple months ago. And I started it. She wanted it done on black. And I was having a really hard time with it, and that pattern's not that big. And I was like, what does she want this for? So I ended up making her the Mary Catherine Harris sampler with the zebra. I thought, I'm not sure what she wants that rabbit for, but when she sees the zebra, she's gonna love it. So I made her the zebra to gift that. I gifted that to her and Chris when I was there. And I said, do you still want that rabbit? And she was like, yeah, if you go look in the hall. So if you go back and look at the pictures of her whole foyer, or those black and white pictures, there's a space right up on the top. Maybe I'll stick it in here at the end, where you can see, she said that would be perfect for like a rectangular picture, and she wanted this rabbit. So when I got home, I was like, that rabbit's not that big, and I said, fine, but I'm not doing it on black. I think it would be better if you did some kind of cream linen, and then let me do the rabbit black, and maybe I'll put some white polka dots on it. She had a rabbit Harpo when she was little that was black and white. And so I sent her this picture. I'm like, is this one too cutesy? I sent her like 4 or 5, and she picked one. And I haven't gotten it yet. So I'll talk about that next in the Flosstube. I'll show you what I'm going to make for her. It's a rabbit. It's really, really cute. And so then the rabbit, and then I think I'll have one more for Stitch Mania that I haven't decided if I'm going to do WIP, work in progress, that I already have started, because I have many that I need to get back to, or if I want to do another new start and just stitch on it for a whole week and see how far I get. I might do that with the Halloween fairies that I was going to do, but I was kind of saving that for, you know, Friday stitching or whatever. So, okay, I'm going to go. This is what I'll say. I'm going to flip in a picture at the end here, and then I'll talk about what I get at fall. But if you guys watch, is it Thread Milk? I think it's Thread Milk. Is her name Lori too? I'm going to try to figure out how to do links and see if I can put some links in here. But what a cool, sweet girl. I have to tell you that I looked up her website and then saw a floss tube that she did, and I had already decided that that's how I was going to try to organize my floss or threads, because I really, really like even my silks. I like them hanging on the thread drops, and I wanted them organized. I've tried the floss bags, I've tried the bobbins, and I really like them just hanging. So when I saw the floss tube, I think it's Lori, Thread Milk, excuse me, she didn't show it in the video, but on her website, if you go, she does these little floss tags that are done out of milk caps, and she talks about that. But what I was intrigued by on her website, when you go look to see what she had them all hanging on a curtain rod with the clips. And I thought, oh my God, that's so ingenious. So I'll put a little snippet in of what Jim did for me while I was gone in Black Thread Studio. I had to take down a couple of my little wall quilts that I had hanging, and Jim put up I got a double rod. I can't wait to get it full. I have ordered, I want to do them all on the same thread drop. I would love to get the Thread Milk drops at some point. Excuse me, you guys. My plan is to have my DMCs hanging in the back, and then my thread gather silks in the front. That is how it is right now, but I will also link, everyone is talking about, Rich is on Instagram. I'll have to link it because I can't even, it's like rrwoodworks something. He's doing those wooden thread winders. So I didn't want to fill up my rack until I get the winder and I can get all of my floss wound and, you know, hanging more of about the same length. So that's what I plan on doing. That's all. I'm done. I'm done for today. I'm going to get my mom. That's another reason why I didn't really have a lot of time to work on my colors block of the month and get a tassel made today, because not only have I been gone the last 2 weekends, then Jim wanted to go look and talk about the trees today, and I'm going to get my mom. I have her every third weekend, which I am going to treasure every minute. She's not sick. She doesn't move around like she used to, but boy, I want to spend every minute I can with her. So I'm going to go get my mom, and this is what I need you guys to do. In the vein of me working on, whoops, I just flashed that. I didn't show it very long, did I? I meant to grab this. In the spirit of working on Peace and Plenty, you know, my whole thing this year is peace. I guess, peace on earth, peace and plenty, peace to everybody, peace, peace, peace. Sorry, that is so annoying. And I'm out of coffee. I'm out of coffee. This was the mug. Wait, one little sip. This was the pear mug Paige made me in 2007 for Mother's Day. So anyway, there will be a tassel. I don't know if I told you guys this, but I wasn't happy with the way the tassels were coming out. And what I figured out is that I've been using this twine. I don't even know where I got it. That's thinner. And I don't know what happened. I think Jim took my other twine. I think that's what happened. It's thicker and it makes a nice, bulkier chunk, cuter tassel. And I didn't want to make any more using that thin twine or string. So I need to get a couple made up that are out of the thicker. I'm going to use my black and white baker's twine that Sweet Cheryl sent me. And I'll have a tassel. So although I don't have one to show you, to be in the drawing for the tassel, how about this? Since I'm kind of not prepared, hang on a second. I'm going to spice it up a little bit. Okay, this is what I decided. Just to show you I have good intentions. All you have to do is say peace on earth to get the tassel. And then, along with peace on earth, I will send you one of these. But you have to tell me which one you want. Nicoletta. It's, Paige's middle name is Nicole, and my sister calls her Nicoletta. This was, it's almost more like a little baby blanket size. I did fleece on the back, that, not fleece, what was it called? That minky on the back. This one, I'll see if I can show you, has prairie points up in the corner, a yo-yo, and the pinwheel, and then it's just really strips. Strips, strips, strips. So, if you say peace on earth, you can either say Nicoletta for this pattern. So the idea is you'll get one pattern. If you win the tassel, you'll get, if you are gifted the tassel, then, and you have to be 18, then you'll get either Nicoletta. You just have to tell me what pattern you want. My all-time favorite, W is for Witch. She's so cute. I should have brought these up to show you, but they're in the basement. My signature style quilt, or Rooster Doodle, which just makes a little teeny, you know, framed 12 by 10 is what I have on there. So peace on earth. Do you want Rooster Doodle? Do you want signature stitch? Do you want W is for Witch? Or do you want Nicoletta? Put that in. I'll announce who is to be gifted that next week. And then I promise I'm going to get everything mailed out because I have to. It's one of those things that's weighing on me. So you guys have a really, really, really good weekend. And happy Mother's Day. And join me next week when I'll do a floss tube. And we'll see how that goes. Okay? All right. Bye-bye, everybody.